All right, everyone, I think we can start our meeting today. Hello, my name is Jessica and I'm serving you as room assistant for today's session. Welcome to President's Breakout Room. This is the Toastmasters International Leadership Institute session, specially dedicated to the club presidents in District 87. For all of you who need the credits towards the DCP, please type your division, the club abbreviation, position, and name into the chat box. The same as your naming format when you enter the main room earlier. This will be the proof of your attendance. I will save the chat and send it to the registration team for checking. During the session, I will also take candid photos. Please note that the session will be recorded and will be published to our social media District 87 YouTube channel. Again, the candid photos and the recording will be also the proof of your attendance. So if you can turn on your video, please turn on your video. All right. Let us begin. First, I would like to introduce our facilitator today. He is a member of Miri Toastmasters Club in Malaysia, has been a Toastmasters member since 2005, has experience in many exco roles. He is also our immediate past Division E Director. Please help me to welcome with a big round of applause, distinguished Toastmaster Abel Tan.
Thank you, Jessica, and welcome every one of you. I am so excited to see so many of the club presidents in this session. Congratulations. The fact that you have been elected as a club president means something. No? It means a big deal. It means that your club members have full faith in you. They believe in you that you can lead a club. So just now I posted Mentimeter. Let's see the results. Let me share with you the screen. All right. Okay. So have all of you, if those of you who have just joined the chat group, okay, join in the breakout room, please go into the chat and then or you can go to menti.com. Type in the code 4446942, all right? Okay, and that is the link of the Mentimeter, all right? Okay, so I think most of you have already voted, and we can see that majority of you are the first-time president, all right? Congratulations to you. This is an exciting journey. I believe that you're going to learn a lot through Toastmasters. For many people, I've been in Toastmasters since 2005. And I always tell club excos that Toastmaster is like a simulation aeroplane. Before you become a real pilot, okay, before you can fly the commercial airplane, you'll be trained, okay, in a simulation cockpit, all right, whereby even if your aeroplane actually crash, you'll still be alive physically. But once you go out into the world and fly the real plane, that is where your leadership is put to the test. And if you don't lead your company well enough, your company can go bankrupt, can disappear. But in Toastmasters, you can afford to fail, all right? Not saying that you want to position yourself to fail in your club, but should you try your best and despite like COVID and situations like this, you don't do as well, you can be allowed to retry again, fail forward, and try to do better next time. You get many times to try, and hopefully you can actually acquire or strengthen your leadership and communication skills so that you are more confident as a leader, so that you make more money out there, you can become a corporate leader and lead organizations, all right? Okay, the next question I want to ask is, let me try to flag it to the next one. One moment, please. All right, okay. Do you see the next, sorry. All right, not quite, sorry. Okay. The next one that I want to show is, okay, what do you think are some of the roles as a president? What are some of the roles? To go in your Mentimeter, has it been refreshed? The Mentimeter, go in and put in a few or one or two, what you think are some of the common roles of a club president, Toastmaster club president. Go ahead and punch it in. All right, good. Okay. Yep. So some of the roles is to promote growth. Okay. I suppose it's growth in your leadership, your communication. All right. Do you see the screen that I'm showing? Jessica, am I showing my screen right? Okay, you can see, right? Okay. So it's motivate, lead the exco team. Yeah. Deal with surprises. Yes, we always have surprises. Have some vision where you want to take your club. Yep, there's some of it. Leading club, giving direction. Yes, those are some of the things that you and I will go through. All right. Okay. So this session will take about 50 minutes. 50 minutes, and will end at 3:20. And for most of you, because I'm bad at timekeeping, so I brought my big clock. You see this one? My giant clock, to make sure that I speak within time. Okay, I think we should have ample time in our discussion. Okay, all right. Okay, I will stop my sharing and then I'll go into my slide pack. Okay, I'll go into the slide pack. And the purpose of today's sharing is more of like introducing to many of you, because since you are the first-time president, this material is so that you know roughly what are some of the roles of a president. Okay. All right. Let me share the PowerPoint slides. And okay, can you see my the material that I have? I put in a map. Okay.
Yes, can see.
Thank you very much. So all of you are from everywhere. It could be in Borneo, you could be in Indonesia. As you can see, in District 87, it covers a very big area. The footprint is really big, all the way from Aceh to the far right, in all the islands, Sulawesi, Indonesia, and a big Borneo Island. Okay, I just put in my laser pointer. So I am actually living in Miri, okay, next to Brunei, okay, on this Borneo Island. And you can see District 87 cover a big area, and all of you are leading clubs now all over District 87. All right, okay. Then the next slide I want to start off with is a quote from John C. Maxwell. John C. Maxwell is one of they call it, he is the authority on leadership. That means that if you want to learn about how to lead other people, want to lead clubs, want to lead organization, you need to read John C. Maxwell's books like 21 Laws of Leadership. And John C. Maxwell said something very important. He said, everything rises and falls on leadership. Everything rises and falls on leadership. So in every clubs or organization, if the club wants to be successful, one of the very important key thing is that the leaders need to push on and strategize, need to work harder so that everything will be successful. And if the club doesn't do well, it could also lean towards poor leadership as well, or leadership that is not so effective. Okay, and it needs some improvement. A little bit about me. I have been in Toastmasters for 15 years. I've been club president for 2 times. And in two of those times, the first time was in 2010. And then I came back to the club and become another time club president somewhere in 2019. All right. In both situations, right, in 2010 and in 2019, the situation was totally different. In 2010, my club, Miri Club, was very strong. It has about 25 or 30 members. In those days, when you want to do speeches, you have to queue up. Okay, there's a long queue, and those are the days where one night we have 6 assignment speeches, and we will start our meeting at 8 o'clock and end at 11 o'clock. It's crazy times, okay? It was like the time when you want to do assignment speeches, but you can't because there are too many people on the queue. It's like a traffic jam. And then in 2019, the situation was totally opposite. The club membership is still about 20, but the active membership was active members who really go to the meeting and participate is only about 10 or 12 people on it. So you're frequently begging people to do assignments, and you are basically, the EXCO team is tired. It's really exhausted because they have been recycled EXCO for many years because the club membership was too few, and membership was not growing as much as we wanted it to be. So in both situations, I got a different spectrum, okay, of leadership. So for those of you, you come from a club where you have so many members, congratulations, your life will be much easier. But for those of you whom probably your club is quite small, okay, maybe your active members is only 10 people, I also empathize. I empathize because I went through before. And I've went through times whereby my VPE had to relocate, no, you have to relocate. You can't stop people and say, sorry, you are VPE, you can't leave the city, you know, you can't change your job, you can't, because Toastmasters, we are voluntary organization, all right? Okay, so just to align our expectation, today we are in this short 15 minutes time, I'm going to show you or let you know all the different roles that you need to understand or at least know as a president of the club, all right? The fulfilling of your responsibility, I believe that you will be doing it throughout your whole term, and your term will be expiring next July, all right? And another goal is also to provide you with the resources, the necessary resources that can help you in your journey in leading your club. And the last 20 minutes, I will go through different challenges in your club, okay? There are different challenges that you might be facing in your term. I don't want you to be surprised, okay? Because it does happen. And that will be the time also that if you have any question you want to ask, you can put in the chat room, all right? Okay, are we ready? Okay, so basically, president responsibilities, we have 3 buckets, okay? One is during the club meeting, the second is outside the club meeting, and the third bucket is the executive committee, leading the EXCO committee, all right? Now, let's talk about during your club meeting, right? So during your club meetings, you have before, during, and after the club meetings. I think there's some noises. Jessica, maybe you want to mute some people who forgot to mute themselves. All right. So before the club meetings, it's very important to talk to your VPE. Now, the president and the VPE are 2 of the very strong role players or EXCO members in the team. And I urge you to work very, very closely with VPE. Why? Because Toastmasters is mainly a club to train leaders and education. And a lot of people equate Toastmasters as a public speaking club. We are a club that train people on communication. And VPE is a very important role in encouraging members to do their speeches. So very important, before any club meetings, you want to talk to your VPE. Is there any other people who is finishing their pathways program? Okay, pathway level 1 or level 2, so that you can recognize those members, okay? So when they finish the pathway level 1, now you can mention it, encourage. So part of the journey as a leadership is that you, as a leader, is that you want to fan, okay? If you want to panggang the satay, right? Now you want to cook the satay. Now you need to first prepare the charcoal, okay, make it hot, okay. So one of the big role as a leader in the organization is that you want to be the greatest cheerleader. So find out those people who are finishing their pathways level, and then is there any new member joining the club? You do induction. And very important is to go through the meeting agenda, try to have a feel, okay, of the agenda, okay, how many speakers, and also to foresee any issues during the club. Because Toastmaster is a voluntary club, a voluntary organization, quite often you get a lot of surprises. And just now in the Mentimeter, some of you said deal with surprises. Indeed, surprises always spring up. Like for example, some of the role players, evaluators, who last minute they will say, "Oh, sorry, I can't join. Okay, I'm stuck in another activity. I can't join." So, and because there is a void in the role player, so a lot of times, president, you have to be ready to save the day, and there is a kind of surprises that can happen. All right, and most importantly, also greet the guest members before the meeting. Now, during the club meetings, like what I always say, always be ready for surprises and be quick to act on it. So you don't want to join your meeting. Let's say your club meeting is at 8 o'clock. You don't want to be joining at 8 o'clock because if there's any surprises, it looks bad. Because imagine guests joining and then, oh, your role players are not there, evaluators didn't join and stuff like that. So that makes it a bit chaotic and give not so good impression for your club. And then, of course, during a club meeting, call the meeting to order, introduce your guests, be courteous, and invite your guests. And then always towards the end of the meeting, you want to provide some information. For example, if there's any TLI training district, there's a combined meeting, you can inform it there. Speech contest, you want to provide information, okay, of the upcoming events, and then adjourn the meeting. Now, outside the club meeting, there are also some responsibilities that president and a few other exco like VPE, VPM, you do have voting power, all right? Like for example, in the District 87, there will be like one or two big business or major meeting whereby you will be required, okay, at least to attend and then to vote. For example, voting for the division directors or area directors. Actually, you have a lot of power. Let's say there are two candidates who wants to be included. He wants the role in the district management team. Right, you have the voting power to vote, okay, who gets to get what role. So always, and then also in Toastmasters International as well, they also allow you to vote as well. And your area director will inform you. And quite frankly, at such a high level, in the Toastmasters organization, we don't even know who is who, sometimes, to be honest with you. Yeah, because all these people are foreign to us, but we still have a role to play to at least go to the system and to vote. Okay. Now the more important part is that to lead the executive committee. Like just now I was mentioning, everything rise and fall in the leadership. So your exco committee members really plays a very important role in leading the club. All right, it's like you are the team that actually ensure the ship actually goes towards the right direction. So, and I always tell people in the corporate organization, be it like big companies, or everybody will be volunteering. When the boss say, "Can I have a few volunteers?" Wow, there will be a lot of people want to volunteer. Why? Because at the end of the year, there is some bonus. But in Toastmasters, it's a voluntary organization. Quite often you have to say, can la, no, yeah, this you can do it. No, everybody will be begging you to serve in the club. And because it's a voluntary club, now a lot of times you need to, your leadership skill need to be even higher. You need to make, like, what I mean by leadership, higher leadership skill, it means that your communication skill, your skill of empathizing with other people, with your committee member, all have to be in tip-top condition, because you are leading a group of people who are not paid. All right, nobody is paid to serve the club. So hence you need to work on your communication skill, your caring, be caring for your people. So that is where you need to, need to be very gentle. No? Sometimes, EXCO members, they say, oh, I'm going to do this, do that, do this, but actually they never do. And as a president, you will need to ensure, or even follow up with them gently, and to guide them, to use your soft skill, so that to encourage them to a point whereby they are motivated to complete their duties, right, to do their roles. Okay. And of course, in the EXCO committee, in some clubs or many clubs, you have a club budget, right? You have your activities planned throughout the year, and then you plan your club budget. And then there is a club success plan, okay? And strategizing for success in your DCP program. I'll talk more in the next slide. And also to oversee the other committee members as necessary. Now, this is just one pager. I put everything in one pager. If you want to do a snapshot, screen capture, or whatever, based on my experience, these are some of the key tasks as a president. And the first point is actually to monitor the DCP progress. And this is a very important thing. Some people, they say, oh, I just want to be happy in the club. I just want to build a happy club. We enjoy, eat popcorn, watch movie or whatever. But those are not the KPI. The real KPI in the Toastmasters for every club is the Distinguished Club Program. And this is very important because if the club is able to achieve the 10 DCP point, it just shows that the club is actually healthy and strong. Okay, it's strong and healthy, and it's possibly able to last for the next many years. Okay, for example, if you go to the doctors, you go to the clinic, and you tell the doctor, say, doctor, I don't know why every morning when I wake up, I got headache. I have headache, and I feel tired throughout the day. Now the doctor will say, okay, let me check your heartbeat. Let me check your blood pressure. They will check your blood pressure, and then they will possibly order for a blood test, take some blood and send to the lab. And why do the doctors do all of this? It is because all these indicators are indicating whether you are healthy or not. If your blood pressure is high, all right, that could be a reason for your headache, or your blood could be low in your red blood cells are a bit low. I'm not a doctor, I'm an engineer. So all these parameters or indicators actually indicate whether you are healthy or not. So likewise, in the club setting, we have about 6 points, okay, out of the 10 DCP points dedicated for education. That means that if the members are very keen, every club meeting, there will be at least 3 people who wants to do assignment speeches in pathways. Then there's a likelihood that you can be able to achieve your pathway 6 points. Not so easy. You need to have everyone from different level continue to do their assignment speeches. Then 2 points will be for membership. That means that if you can achieve the 2 points of membership goal, that means that in one term, in 1 year, you're able to recruit 8 new members. That's a good sign. Of course, membership retention is also equally important. And then you have some points on training and administration. Like today, all of you spend your time for training, and it's well deserved, because this is what like Stephen Covey said, this is the time to sharpen the saw. 2 persons, one works so hard chopping the trees non-stop, keep chopping. The other one chop, 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 and then sharpen the saw. Okay, and by doing so, is able to chop more trees effortlessly. So this is a well-spent time to sharpen your saw, so that in this term you can start strong. Okay, so enough said of DCP. This is so it's very important as a president. You want to have an overall view of this, and then encourage your VPE, your VPM, and all your EXCO team to work hard so that the club will be strong. Second point, ensure regular club meetings. I know for certain, like during the pandemic, during the COVID, quite a number of clubs, or even most of the clubs feel the pressure, right? Like members not really willing to join your online meetings. Your club meetings are through Zoom. It's very few. Okay, you have like only 5-6 people joining the meeting, and it's quite easy to just say, just forget about it. We'll just take rest for the next few months. Now, the fact is that when you start to decrease the number of meetings, there is a risk that your club might eventually die off really, really fast. Take, for example, if let's say I tell you for the next 1 week, you don't eat, okay? By the 7th day, or maybe the 3rd day, you feel extremely weak already and you can't even walk. That's the same thing as well for club meetings. If you don't have any regular club meetings, number one, you're going to be hard in recruiting members. Secondly, your momentum is just going to go down. In the John C Maxwell book, there is one element called the law of momentum, the big mo. All right. So when your club actually you have regular meeting, what you want is, and many people doing assignment, you want to continue to leverage on the momentum, to continue to push the momentum. And at any point when you start to decrease your club meetings, your momentum actually go down already. You're starting to weaken, and it's going to be hard to come back up. So very important. Third point is regular club exco meeting. Discuss with your club excos how often you want to meet. It could be 1 time a month or 2 times a month, or things like that. And this is important because there is a time where you can strategize to see any initiative you can do to strengthen the club membership. How are we doing in our education? Is there anything that we need to do to encourage the members to do their assignments, right? So these are all the issues that you need to surface and discuss in the club meeting. Fourth point is how to keep the club membership, club members' motivation high. Later on, you have sessions on this sort of topic, but in short, is some of the things that you can do is to continue to be a good cheerleader, all right? And whenever certain members, they finish pathways, level 1 or level 5, you want to celebrate with them. You want to celebrate and mention them. You want to encourage other people to also follow the footsteps. You want to appreciate your members, right? You want to appreciate your club exco members. You want to remember the hard work. Remember, every one of us are not paid to do any of this extra thing in life. For most of us, we are busy. You might have children or whatever, and work at the office is very busy. So because of that, we need to step up our leadership skill by motivating people. And sometimes it could be personal text message and say, thank you, just now, the way how you you are truly dedicated. The way I see how you run the meeting was truly excellent. You put in extra mile. No? Personal text goes a long way. All right, or you can call them up. Fifth point is that in one term, normally we'll have a club speech contest. Don't forget, because there is also a time to let the club members participate in club contests, and then the good ones or the champions, they will go up to the next level, area and division director. And this is also important because the club members who then feel that they are not just doing normal club activities, they see a bigger, wider picture. All right, bigger, wider picture, be it like you get to mix with people, members from other clubs, and like maybe you encourage people to go and join the convention. It could be District 87 convention, and it's very important when they go to the convention, they meet more people. All right, okay, and that's how they stay longer in the club. And then update the club members of the latest activity. It could be a club convention, it could be a District 87 convention, or there's some membership drive and stuff like that. And last but not least, leadership, you need to pass it on. Now, in the recent Olympics, you'll see that in the athletics, there will be the relay runs, okay, relay runs, and they will be passing baton to one. After you run your 100 meters, you pass the baton to your next one. Remember, having an extraordinary term is not good enough unless that success can be passed on to the next team. So don't forget to train and also spot for leaders for the upcoming term. All right. Okay. So I have 5 more minutes for this pack. So for starter, now you want to attend TLI, read materials, and then talk to the committee members, previous committee members, and then meet with your current committee members. Now, there's additional resources. As I always said, and I'm proud to say that Toastmasters is an organization who produce so much handbook materials that no matter you are the first-time president, not to worry. All you need is to download those free materials, scan the QR code, go to the web page, download the materials, and you read. And you'll be like the experienced president because you just know everything. You know everything that you need to do. All right. And this concludes the session for the president. So I hope at this, after going through 20 minutes of this slide pack, I hope that that by now you are at least aware of some of the roles that you need to play during the whole term, okay, up to July next year. All right. If you have any question or you have any question, please put in the chat room, okay, put in the chat, and then Jessica will read it through. Now, what are we going to do in the next 20 minutes? In the next 20 minutes, I would like to talk about the common challenges in clubs. All right. Previously, I think for the last few weeks, I think that the TLI committee have already sent you the link, okay, to some questionnaires. I've gone through the questionnaires, especially for all the president, and these are all the common challenges that I see being noted in the questionnaire. Maybe you might have some unique challenges in your club, okay, and you have some challenges. Please either you can stop me and say that I have a question, time out, I have a question, or you can type in the chat room and then Jessica will read out the question and we can talk over it. And yeah. So in my last 15 years of our Toastmaster journey, I've seen many of these. Yeah, it's nothing new. I've seen a lot of these issues that is looming. To be frank with you, I'm not an expert. I'm not the know-it-all leader as get all A's now in all these problems. But I'm just like you. We learn along the journey. And So I'm going to go through quickly, mentioning some of these different issues and possibly what you can do, okay, and I can do about it, okay. All right, let's start. Okay, the first issue quite often is that some EXCO members are not as committed. It always happen. It always happen. Why? Because a lot of times, if your club has only 10 members or 12 members, most of the time is that you have to possibly in the AGM or in your EXCO election time, you have to beg the people to do the role. All right, you have to beg, oh, please become the VPE. No, the club needs you, that kind of thing. And even if the person say, yes, I will do the take up the role, does not mean that they are really going to function or they're going to do the role. Yeah. All right. So like it or not, yeah. So like what I say is that for some of the clubs that have a lower membership, I always encourage them, first hang in there. I feel for you. I emphasize I've been there before. All right. Hang in there because club go through a phase of ups and downs. And there are times where you might have really strong momentum. Your club is achieving anything. It's like 10 DCP points is just like eating popcorns at the cinema. But by the time when your active members go down to about 10 members, it is a stretch. And I know some leaders do feel like I want to throw in the towel and just give up, just close down the club and forget about it. I want to encourage all of you is that if you are feeling that way, hang in there because tough time never lasts. Tough people do, all right? Tough people do. And when you hang in there, you never know. You never know that some high profile leader somehow join in as a new member, just one after another. And you never know, it could be coming from, maybe they get cross-fostered, maybe that last time they used to work in another city and now they come to your city and they say, I want to join your club. And because you got new members, this very passionate leader, they can quickly turn things around. The situation can suddenly improve. So specifically for EXCO members that are not committed, I would like to encourage you is like go down to the level, pull in the one that are active ones with you, and then you might need to take turns to take on certain roles. It's not going to be easy, all right? That's the bottom line of it. I don't want to make it sound like there's a magic pill. You eat the pill, every one of EXCO all become super committed. It doesn't work that way. But often is that you realize that you might need to take on some of their roles, or you might need to discuss with them, say, since you're in a very busy situation right now, maybe in their office is very busy, all right? So you might want to discuss, okay, maybe during this very challenging moment or busy period, I will step in for you. But once you get out of your busy period, can I have your commitment that you will come back and help the club again? Now, some of these things, hard, might help. Okay. Second point, motivating members to do speeches. There are clubs whereby people have forgotten why they joined Toastmasters, and people are not doing assignment speeches, and for different reasons. Like the point number 3 is some of the older members who say, I just cannot follow this pathway program. Too many buttons clicking, too much internet. I don't know where to click and stuff like that. So when you have such situation, right, you want to understand what is the root cause. For every members, there are always different issues. From what my observation is that a lot of times the older members find it hard to get suited to the pathway program, right? The moment they log in the website, and sometimes the website can be very sluggish, and then they click, they are lost. So if for that kind of situation, you want to point them to some materials. Like in my club, I make my material step by step. Okay, I'm sure there are other materials as well. Step by step, what to click. In YouTube, you get videos as well. First click this, then click that. Forward the link of the YouTube to them. Okay, you can search pathways, how to navigate in pathways in YouTube, and all these videos will pop up. So forward them the link. In some cases, like last time, I have some members who are 50, 60 years old. I had to tell, give me your password. I will log in and I will click for you. But we are not cheating, okay? Not cheating here. Means if she does her assignment speeches, then we go in and click for her. All right. Right now, I'm very happy to say that the same person has already now finally learned how to click in pathways already. A 60-year-old doctor, okay, who is my doctor as well. All right. So yeah, I go to a clinic once in a while. All right. So find out what are the issues. Sometimes members don't do assignment because they're not enough guidance. They don't know what topic to talk about. Okay. So we want to find out. Okay. Maybe I stop here for a while now, just to pause for a while. Is there any of you who have any question? I'm suddenly come to my mind that I'm supposed to be a facilitator, not a speaker, a trainer. And is there any one of you can resonate with some of these topics? You can resonate with the topic, or you have some unique situation, all right, that we can discuss in this last 20 minutes. You can turn off, unmute yourself, and then we can discuss. Is there any one of you?
Okay, distinguished Toastmaster Abel, actually there are a few questions in the chat room.
Oh, good question. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
So anyone, you want to unmute yourself and directly ask the facilitator for the questions? If not, then I will read it for you.
I always tell people I don't bite, but I do swallow. It's okay.
All right, then I will read the first questions first. It's coming from
sure.
Toastmaster Aziman from Brunei Advanced Toastmasters Club, and seconded by the Ultimate Toastmasters member, Club President, Toastmaster Bagas Anika. So the question is, for succession planning purpose, how do you encourage members to take interest in becoming exposed instead of feeling that they have to because no one else is running for that role?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. So in a club situation, right? So during your whole term, right, I will encourage you to open your eyes really big. No, don't wait until end of the term only then you start to scratch your head. Who is the next club president? Now I do agree. At one time when I was a president in 2019, there was a period of COVID, quite bad, and then we had to go into a Zoom meeting, and it was like really tough. The club attendance really thoroughly take a nosedive. Now it was really tough. And at the end of my term, I was really scrambling, like, who is going to take on the president role? I really have no idea, It's up to that point, really, luckily there was some new members, fresh member, who joined for the last only like 3 or 4 months during the pandemic. And thank goodness, thank God that he said he's okay to be the club president, and that's how he managed to take the club to have 9 DCP points. All right, so a new 3 months old club member become a president and managed to navigate the club to get 9 DCP points in the pandemic itself, with only like 10 to 15 active members. So what you need to do is throughout the term, open your eye big enough, and then always try to encourage, or how to say, like when you do certain initiative, like for example, a membership drive. Okay, if you want to do a membership drive, and then you have a certain subcommittee, you might want to encourage some of these newer members, okay, to be part of those mini initiative, like for example, organize speech contest. You need a team, right? And that is where you can see the leadership capability of the person, right? And that's where you get to expose the person to the leadership aspect of the club. So by doing so, you are actually encouraging new leaders to come up. And so by the time when it's an election for the committee members, likely you roughly know who is best suited for what role. Yeah, that will be my quick answer. And secondly is, of course, membership. Keep the funnel coming, new members, keep visitors publicizing in Facebook, get more new members into the club. Because by having more new members in your club, you get more chance or more choices for leadership. Not like a situation like you have to beg them to become leaders. All right, understand? All right. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, how is it?
Any other question? Yep.
Yes, we have other questions as well. So it's still regarding the exposed roles. So it's coming from Toastmaster Ronawati from Maranatha Toastmasters Club. So she said that in my other club, there has not been any EXCO election announcement or announcement who wants to be elected. The EXCO is determined by a few people in the club and just induction when the new term comes. So is it allowed in Toastmasters? Because it has been happened for quite many years, few years.
Okay, let me take a guess. Possibly just a random guess. Maybe I have come across some of the club who does this, and the club that I know of that does this. In my term as a division director, the club just died. So it's not great for the district, not great for the division director, but the club has been weak for quite a while. And it happened because the club is really, really weak, like no meetings and stuff like that. So short answer is not ideal, okay? If your club is big enough, it's a strong club, I do encourage election. Why? Because then the members feel empowered to choose the leader for the club, and not just determine on a few person. The thing about it is that if the whole club only depend on a few senior members, it's not healthy, because you never know. One moment the senior member is active, the next moment he says, sorry, I'm moving. Due to my job commitment, I got a new job in another city. I need to leave already. I need to go to KL to work, need to go to Jakarta to work now. And because of that, it creates instability in the club. So as much as possible, we don't want to depend only on a few senior members, but we want to continue to empower new people, new members, new leaders in the club. Whether or not it's allowed or not, it's a gray area. I mean, as long as there are club officers put inside the system in TI, they consider it okay, all right? Whether those committee members are committed or not, forced into, they don't know, right? So I will still encourage the club to continue to empower new leaders. If possible, do elections so that people feel like they're empowered by the club, instead of being forced by some people. All right, let's move on to the next question.
All right, there's also next questions is from Toastmaster Bonaventure from Misomporu Toastmasters Club. So after 1 month of the term, my Vice President of Education and Vice President of Membership somehow see their business and family life took center stage. What can I do?
Yeah, so what can you do? I think talk to them, have a hard talk, right? Like it or not, we all have 24 hours in our life. 8 hours you need to sleep. Another 8 hours as an adult, we need to work. So take out 16 hours, you're left with 8 hours, right? In these 8 hours, yeah, so you have a hard talk to them to see whether is there any. It's not like when you have suddenly you have children, or you can't devote half an hour a day, and also actually being a EXCO members, it doesn't mean that you have to burn off so many hours for Toastmaster. You have to use so many hours. Every one of us, so you have a choice. So gauge how much time he or she is willing to devote for the club. Okay, gauge like for example in my club, okay, the VPE role in the past for many years now, the club has been existing since 1980s, and for many years, okay, the club has been such that all the meetings, right, club meetings is coordinated and organized by the VPE. Now you can think like 1 year, how many Toastmaster meetings you need to organize? At least 20, right? 20 or 30. So, and the VPA basically had to prepare meeting program, back or force or whatever, encourage all the members to do assignment, fill up the evaluator roles and all the roles, all done by one person for the whole year, whole term. That I believe is quite challenging for the VPE. So that's why in the recent this term, I told the committee member, I told the club as a whole, I said, this is not going to work. We're all very tight for time. We want to encourage people to become VPA, but we also don't want them to burn out. So we need them so in some clubs, there will be like TOE, okay? TOE will be the one that will arrange for the meeting, arrange for role player. So you can have different TOE for different meeting, and you can decentralize. Like for example, like one person can take on 2 meetings. In that case, then people are willing to commit more, right? So for the person who say very busy, then I say, so let's discuss, let's talk about, okay, what you are willing to contribute and what you say, I'm not willing to do at all, okay? I'm not willing. What you are willing to give and offer to the club and what you are not so willing to do. Then you discuss, so then you become very objective. For example, you ask him, is joining the club committee meeting once a month for 1.5 hours a bit too much for you? Okay, he said, yeah, I think I can give my time. And then he said, is attending the club meeting 2 hours per meeting 2 times a month, is it too difficult for you? And say, yeah, no, and yeah, probably you think, yeah, I think I can dedicate that time. So slowly you can see like how much he's willing to give, okay? And VPM, to be honest, yeah, it's supposed to be not as time consuming because like, for example, it's like, in this term, we are targeting 8 new members. It's keying into the system a bit too difficult, like which takes you 10 minutes. Is it too difficult for you? So slowly you let them know. A lot of times people think that, oh, VPM role or VPE role very demanding, but they don't know exactly what they need to do. So it's good to tell them, if you are doing this role, this is what you need to do. Okay, these are your job tasks. Okay, and based on my estimation, it doesn't take too much of your time. Okay, if you are struggling so much, then maybe let's talk it through. Maybe I can share some of your burden as well. Yeah, like that. Yeah. So it's a lot of negotiation. Don't take it at face value and say, oh, it's not committed. Then leave it as it is. And then you start to take all the roles. Then I think you will get burned out. Yeah. So talk it through and negotiate and find a common ground. That will be what I will advise. All right. We still have about 7 minutes. Any more questions?
Actually, there are quite many discussions between the presidents in the club for the questions. So there are quite many responses. Maybe
Okay.
anyone.
Maybe some can unmute. Yeah. Maybe you can unmute and then let's talk now. And you can share about the situations in your club, or maybe you have some insights, encouragement to other club presidents. We can use this time to talk it through.
Yes, we still have 2 minutes for your information. Please do share. 2 minutes.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Can you hear me, Abel and
Yes,
Jessica?
yes, I can hear.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Justin from Otters TMC. So I think one of the problem that we have seen in our club so far is that the problem with finding a speech evaluator, because most of the time so we have only a few members who are on the pathway proficient level already, but at times, you know, in and out, week in and week out, we usually see more or less the same evaluator on evaluating, because they need to be higher than, you know, the speech that they are evaluating, right? So how can we solve that problem within the club itself?
Okay. So just to clarify, you are from Brunei, right? And Brunei,
Yeah,
you are
correct.
doing physical meeting, right? Or are you
No,
doing online meeting?
we just reverted back to virtual meetings starting last week, actually.
Congratulations.
Sorry.
Yeah. Congratulations. By going online, now everyone can be the evaluator already. Yeah. So yeah, really, it's like you are tapping on the universe to help you already. I mean, like so many people from other clubs can come into your club meeting and lend you a help already. Physical meeting, yeah, unless you encourage some of the other club members to come over, or you have to sometimes bend a bit. Just because they are lower proficiency doesn't mean they're lousy, you know. Yeah. So every great speaker like President Obama, be excellent in his public speaking. He also need to go through pathway level 1, but I'm sure he can be a good evaluator, right? Yeah, so
yes.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So in short, in the last 43 seconds, I just want to encourage all of you, be it all the situations in your club, hang in there, use this 1 year as a training ground, learn as much leadership and communication. I wish you all the best. And I hope that you can achieve the goals that you set for your clubs. And I truly believe that you all are able to do it. You are capable to execute the roles that you have been assigned as a president. So in the subsequent sessions, you get to learn more, okay, from other speakers. So all the best to you.
Learn a little bit